for staying with us here on Newsdesk. Now, the Executive Committee of the Ghana Football Association, they have officially banned Premier League club Nsoatreman FC from using its home venue until further notice. Now, this follows some acts of violence and lawlessness that marred the Ghana Premier League match between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Nsoatreman FC on Sunday. Now, we'll give you a statement from all three of them. All the parties involved, they have released a statement, but I have with me my sportsman here to do all that for me. Muftal, thank you so much for coming and saving me.
And enjoy.
Yes, I am seated, please.
Yes.
Okay, so for someone like me who hardly follow the local league, this is worrying.
If we've had similar incidents in the Ghana football for many, many years. In fact, just about 4 years ago, at this very venue, Real Tamale United players and officials were beaten to pulp. You saw people bandage their heads because fans. Can you see the kung fu from some of the players out there?
I am
as if Jet Li and Jack Chan were either, I don't know, or even
all
Bruce
this
Lee.
while, I haven't been watching our local league. I think this is the best time to start watching because really, you can learn a lot.
Unfortunate. And something is very difficult to speak about them, considering the fact that this is a product that served as the stepping stone for many young journalists in this country. People who have covered this product extensively would always tell you that covering this competition is like walking on having a cliff walk, because the dangers associated with the Ghana Premier League is quite enormous, and it manifested in Nsoatreman when Francis Frimpong, who happens to be a supporter of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, lost his life. And the Porcupine Warriors released a statement, just as we have it right here. They say that they condemned the violent and unacceptable incidents that marred their Ghana Premier League March Week 19 game against Nsoatreman FC at the Nana Chronomancer Field at the in Nsoatre. So what the Porcupine Warriors basically were saying in their statement was about the fact that these are things that are unacceptable in Ghana football, and things like this should not be condoned. They went on further to actually indicate that before they got inside the stadium, fans of Nsoatreman had subjected them to open hostility, including confrontations from sections of home supporters. They said that despite these provocations, they remained committed to fair competition and proceeded with the game in the spirit of sportsmanship. If not to go through the entire statement verbatim, but if you listen to people who have spoken, you would understand that there were many things that actually happened before the game. I've spoken to people, at least before Joy Sports published the story on the website, we spoke to about 7 people who were there, including some officials. I spoke to officials of Kotoko, I spoke to officials of Nsoatreman before we wrote that report. And it would interest you to know that one of the officials of Kumasi Asante Kotoko was denied access to the team's dressing room before the game and at halftime. And in fact, this incident that actually happened, one of the eyewitnesses that I spoke to actually told me that he was seated in front of the owner of Nsoatreman FC, who also happens to be the former Minister of Employment and Labor Relations, Ignatius Osebafo, right? He apparently left his seat and went downstairs to try and calm the situation when the people or the players started fighting. And when he got downstairs, he called up Kwesi Appiah, who is the former Black Stars head coach. He happens to be the technical director of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. He called him up. But the people who were seated around Kwesi Appiah told him not to go because it is his fans who are misbehaving. So why are they calling Kwesi Appiah to come? And also, in any case, when Kwesi Appiah tried getting access to the team dressing room, he was denied. So they told him not to go because the tension was so high. So he shouldn't consider going down there. It was after that, eyewitnesses claimed that because Kwesi Appiah did not honor the invitation he extended to him to come downstairs, he was upset. He came back to the stands, and they even claimed that he actually asked the supporters to continue doing what they were doing if Kwesi Appiah was not willing to come downstairs. So when he came back to the VIP seat, claims are that the gentleman who lost his life, Francis Frimpong, known as Nana Pule, he got up and was like, oh, honorable, the way your supporters are behaving is not nice. And claims are that he was so upset, he pushed the guy off. So when he pushed the guy, the fans thought that he was having an altercation with the guy. So they pounced on him, right? So he also threw a punch. Kwesi Appiah happened to have been close. He tried saving the guy, right? So the leadership of Kotoko, the officials of Nsoatreman all came together to calm the situation. But unbeknownst to them, some people had other ideas. In fact, I was actually told that after that happened, the boy was now seated next to Kwesi Appiah. But Kwesi Appiah had been pelted with water. So he decided to leave the stadium. He got up from his seat, and the guy was left there. No one had an idea where the guy also left to. The only thing they saw was that he had been choked at his upper left end with a knife, a sharp knife. In fact, a doctor or someone who says he's a medical officer, I spoke to him. He was telling me that he actually followed the ambulance to the hospital, the Nsoatreman Ghana Health Center. That's where the guy was taken to. And according to him, the boy actually died in the stadium and not at the hospital. But when they go to the hospital could not do anything about it. Because they said, according to him, the boy had been taken in a tricycle, Pragya. So it was the Pragya that took him to where the ambulance is, for the ambulance to take him to the hospital. And by the time they go to the hospital, according to him, the black in the guy's eyes were no longer there. So as a health professional, he knew the guy was dead because he was there. He was at close range. So I spoke to all these people, and they actually gave us an idea as to what happened that led to the demise. But Nsoatreman also came out with a statement.
Yeah, they've come up with a statement as well as the GFA.
Their statement was quite an interesting one because they claimed that their initial information suggested that the guy had an issue with someone near a drinking spot, and that it was later that the guy was choked. And they believe that it came from the gentleman who he had the issue with at the drinking spot.
And that statement is just behind us.
But the interesting thing, however, is that
in their narration of events,
a board member of the club was asked a specific question. You say your initial information suggests that the boy was, he had issues with another person at a drinking spot. Do you know the people who gave you the initial information? He claimed he didn't know, but these were things they heard inside the stadium. And I'm wondering, as a club, you don't just hear supporters making claims and you use that as an official statement. Because if the Ghana Police Service extends an invitation to you to come and justify these things and show us the people who were making such comments before you concluded that it was good enough to be in an official statement, what message would you be giving to them? That is where I felt that the club could have done better. Even if it is true, right, as a club, you need to have your facts right before you release a statement, because the onus is on you to now justify that this statement we made, they are actually true. And that is where I have a reservation with them. The Ghana Football Association also came out with a statement banning the use of the facility. And this is the second or third time the FA is banning their venue because of the acts of hooliganism we often see at the Nsoatreman Stadium. It's quite a major issue. The FA also says that they've reported the matter to the police. The intel I had this morning was that the police have gotten a lead and they are actually working on arresting the person. Well, one of the things someone told me was the fact that they are even certain by close of day they should be able to make some arrests. They actually invited the leadership of Nsoatreman to the Nsoatreman Divisional Police Command early this morning. They were supposed to meet around 9 a.m. I don't know if the meeting has happened. CAF has also asked the Ghana Football Association to furnish them with details of what happened. I was made to understand that head of security at the Ghana Football Association, John Ansah, was supposed to submit the report to CAF by 10 a.m. today. I just need to follow up to find out where those things have been done. But it's quite unfortunate that in this day and age, people will go to the stadium healthy and they come back as a corpse. That's quite unfortunate. I saw the mortal remains of the gentleman when they were taking him out of the hospital to the ambulance around 9:10 p.m. yesterday. And it was quite difficult to watch because this was a gentleman who on Saturday was on television previewing the game. This was a gentleman who was at the stadium that very morning speaking about the game, talking about how they arrived and the fans of Nsoatreman had denied them access inside the stadium. And he even said he was here with 1,000 cedis and he's here to buy his ticket. They try to make it appear as though they want to follow the bus and enter inside the stadium without paying for the tickets. But all of a sudden, by 5 p.m., this gentleman was no more. Because I actually got the intel of his demise around 5 something. But we were doing, as a desk, we needed to do cross-checking. We needed to speak to people who were there. And by 5:40, 5:50, it was confirmed that he was dead. And we actually put together our report and then we published. So,
we're looking forward to swift investigations to ensure that the perpetrators are arrested and dealt with. Yeah. But this is sad for Ghana football.
Indeed, it is. It is.
Especially for the international bodies watching us right now. How do we redeem our image?
You know, over the years, hooliganism have always found their way into the very fiber of Ghana football, especially in the lower tier. But now it has found its way to the topmost tier of the competition. This is a product that's actually been struggling to secure sponsorship. This is a product that is struggling to be able to attract spectators to match venues. At this point, how do you convince me that my family and I are safe if we come to the stadium to watch football? And it's a major issue for the Ghana Football Association to deal with. One of the questions I actually asked was that, how on earth did a football fan get inside a stadium with a sharp object, with a knife? Can you imagine what other people too were holding inside that very stadium if something had happened? It means that security on the day actually failed. And I think that the Ghana Football Association should be taking a chunk of the responsibility that led to the demise of this gentleman. I recall in April 2021 when the FA president, Kete Kriku, was calling on the Ghana Police Service to act by arresting hooligans because these are sins he described as crime. I remember then Superintendent Sheila Abeye Bachman. I went and interviewed her because the FA president had said it was their responsibility. And what she told me then was that the core mandate of the police is to protect lives and property when they go to match venue and not to arrest hooligans. And this is where we found ourselves 4 years on. It's quite unfortunate. The police must step up. I don't see how someone will commit a crime outside the venue or a stadium. It is treated as a crime, but inside there, nothing happens. See them. The police were standing there. They were punching each other, flying left, right, and center, as if Jack Chan and Bruce Lee were going neck to neck. See someone climbing the fence.
Shameful to see.
Quite unfortunate. Just watch there. You will see that the goalkeeper of Kumasi Asante Kotoko chased down a supporter. See someone climbing there in a white shirt. He was trying to climb the fence. The goalkeeper of Kumasi Asante, you see some of the people? Yeah. The goalkeeper of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Kamara, chased down a gentleman this way to exchange punches with him as if they were in a boxing ring. It was quite unfortunate. And these things are everywhere on the internet. A potential sponsor of the Ghana Premier League will just decide that I have to pull out. I cannot do this anymore.
So there's a conversation we'll be having in subsequent bulletin because it's actually...